Hello guys, welcome to my new episode. My name is Katrin, I'm a front-end developer living in Germany. Grab something to drink or put me on the background while coding and let's talk about the questions that I got recently. And it was, do you really need to learn coding in order to work in tech? Attention, spoiler alert, no you don't. But we still need to clarify a few things. Because when people tell me, oh, I'm not sure I like coding, I'm not sure it is for me, I tried it but didn't work out. So my first thought actually always is, do they really know what coding is? Because I think many people imagine a very stereotypical programmer. Someone sitting alone in a dark basement, writing extremely complicated algorithms, building huge systems, hacking websites, and doing some kind of super difficult computer science magic. And then they think, okay, maybe I'm not this person, then I cannot work in tech. But that's not how it works. I'm a good example. I'm a front-end developer and I don't spend my days solving extremely difficult complicated algorithms. Of course, algorithms can appear in interviews sometimes, but in my personal opinion, that is not what defines a good developer. For a front-end developer job, you mainly need to understand the basics, how coding works, how the language you work with works, how to build things, and how to solve problems. Then with experience, you learn what good code looks like, how to structure applications, what libraries and tools exist, and what to use when, what solutions make sense, and what approaches are better. So you don't need to start by learning extremely advanced computer science, topics like complex tree algorithms or something similar. You learn step by step. And also another thing I want to mention, you don't have to work in big tech. Because a lot of content that we see online comes from people working in big tech at huge companies like Google, Amazon, Pinterest. And sometimes it creates a feeling that if you do not work at those companies, then you kind of failed, or that's the only successful path that you can take. But honestly, it's not. Many people work in smaller tech companies, and that can also be an amazing experience. You can have better work-life balance, you can learn a lot, and you don't need to sacrifice your whole life for your career. And if you want more challenges, then you can go, for example, to startup. That's actually how I started, and I learned so much because I had to do many different things at once. So I'm not saying that working at big tech is bad. If it's your dream, then go for it. Not at all, but I'm just saying that we should normalize working in small tech companies too. So again, back to the question. When someone is telling me I don't like coding, I would first suggest make sure you really don't like coding. And it's not because you have some specific stereotypes in your head. And girlies, I am talking specifically to you, because I think I heard this from girls more often than from guys. Another common misunderstanding is that coding is just sitting for the whole day in front of the computer and typing random lines of code. But coding is actually very creative. You can build the same thing in different ways. You can find different solutions to the same problem. You can just create something and immediately see the result. And that's what, for example, I personally love about front-end development, because if you love seeing results visually, then front-end development or app development might be actually something that you are going to enjoy. So again, ask this question again. Do I really dislike coding, or do I dislike the idea of coding that was created by the environment? So if your answer is, I'm going to try again, then you can stop this video, and I'm very happy that you're going to give coding another chance. But if your answer is, no, Katrin, I'm 100% sure coding is not for me, which is absolutely okay too, then let's talk about what you can do in tech without being a programmer, because tech is actually much bigger. So first one is probably for many people the most obvious one. It's UI UX designer. For example, if you say I like creativity and understanding people, then this could be a great direction for you. But here I want to clarify something, because I often hear people say being a designer just means to be a creative person. And that's not really true. Of course, creativity is important, but design is not about making something look beautiful. A UX UI designer thinks about how does this product work? Is it easy to understand? Is it intuitive? Can users achieve their goals? Is there a way to make their experience easier? Because eventually you design not only how the products and websites look, but also how they feel. And by that I mean you need to understand user behavior. You need to understand what people need, how they use products, and what problems they have. So you might enjoy this profession if you already notice, for example, bad design everywhere, or you like organizing information, or you are interested in psychology and understanding people. And of course, if you enjoy visual creativity. So some skills that you can start learning: Figma, design principles, how to do user research, how to create wireframes and prototypes, accessibility basics, because you do want that all people can use your products, and how to do user testing. And for example, just to test if you like it or not, you could choose a project or an existing website and try to redesign it. For example, think what problems it has and then explain what are the problems, why did you decide to change it, and how, for example, your version improves the experience. And then you can see if this direction really interests you. So the second one is product manager. This role is for people who like ideas, strategy, and also connecting people. Because a product manager is a person who decides what should be built and why. He also works between users, developers, and designers. So he's basically a bridge between different teams. So you might enjoy it if you like solving problems, planning and asking why are we building this and what are we building next. And why is the most important question in this role. Because users sometimes come with a problem, but also they might come with a solution. But the job of the product manager is not just to build what users want, but to understand what problem are we going to solve. Because sometimes what users suggest, it's not the best solution, and sometimes they even don't know what they want. That is why asking questions is so important. And you also need leadership skills. Yes, of course, you are not probably going to really manage people, but people will come to you with questions, decisions, and requests for clarifications. So you need to be someone who can guide a conversation, for example. So skills you can learn are product thinking, how to do user interviews, how to create roadmaps, how to prioritize, what is Agile and Scrum, and to develop communicational skills. And one important thing, if you don't know how to code, you still need some technical understanding. Because imagine sitting in a meeting with developers and they are talking about APIs, code base, database, or technical limitations, and you have no idea what they mean. So you don't need to build these things yourself, but you definitely need to understand how they work. So again, in order to understand if you like it, you can choose an existing application and, for example, try to define who the target user is, what problem does it solve, what features would you improve, what your roadmap would look like. The next one is project manager or scrum master. This is for people who like organizing chaos. A project manager helps teams deliver products. So you focus on timelines, communication, planning, removing blockers. You might enjoy it if you love organizing things, if you like planning, if you communicate well, and if you like helping teams work better. Skills you need: understanding of Jira, agile methodology, communicational skills, risk management, and facilitation. Personally, I think this role is changing a lot, especially after pandemic, when many companies moved to remote work. Scrum Masters became very common because teams needed more help with organizing processes remotely. But I think in the future this role might change, because now many teams either got back to work from the office or already know how to organize themselves remotely. But project management probably is going to stay with us. Another one, QA engineer or software tester. If you like finding problems, this one might be for you. Your job is going to be to test software before it gets to users. So you are going to be the one who finds bugs, and developers sometimes are not going to like you. So you're going to think about what happens if I click here, but also if I click it there, and what if I do something unexpected. So you might enjoy it if you are curious, if you notice even small mistakes, if you like investigating, if you enjoy solving problems. So skills to learn are testing principles, writing bug reports, how to create test cases, and how to use browser developer tools. Later, for example, you can also move to automation testing, where you already need coding knowledge, but you can start with manual testing. Another one, technical writer. This is for someone who loves explaining things. I personally never had a technical writer in my team, but it's definitely a role that I saw exists. A technical writer takes a complicated technology and turns it into understandable information, like documentation, tutorials, guides, articles. So you might enjoy it if you like explaining things, if you enjoy writing, if you like learning new topics. So skills that you need: clear writing, how to do research, how to use documentation tools, how to structure content in a good way, and you need basic technical understanding too. And this is also especially important today with AI, because if something is written or created with AI, you still need to understand, does it even make sense? So you need to have enough knowledge to check the quality. Another direction that I personally really like: accessibility specialist. I think this field is becoming more and more important because companies are finally talking about accessibility more. So this role is about making technology usable for everyone, including people with disabilities. You might enjoy it if you care about inclusion, if you notice unfair experiences, if you like solving human problems. And skills that you need: understanding of WCAG guidelines, how to use screen readers, what keyboard navigation is, to know UX principles, and to know how to do accessibility testing. And this is a great example of tech that it is not about only building things. Sometimes it's just making sure that everyone can use things. Another one is data analyst. If you like finding patterns and numbers, so this could be definitely interesting for you. A data analyst takes information and turns it into insights that help companies make decisions. You might enjoy it if you like statistics, if you like finding patterns, if you like answering questions like, why did this happen? So skills that you might need are Excel, SQL, how to create data visualizations, Power BI or similar tools, and the knowledge of basic statistics. Another role is customer success solutions specialist. This is for people who like helping others, so eventually you help customers successfully use technology. You might enjoy it if you like teaching, if you're patient, and if you enjoy conversations. Skills that you need are, of course, communicational skills, understanding the product deeply, troubleshooting, and presentational skills. And another possible path, cybersecurity non-coding roles. Because a lot of people think that cybersecurity is only coding and hacking, but there are also non-coding paths. So you might work with security processes, risk management, investigations, compliance. And you might enjoy it if you like detective work, you are curious how things break, and you enjoy solving mysteries. Skills that you need are networking basics, security concepts, risk assessment, and how to use security tools. And the last one, technical recruiter. So this one combines people and technology. You're going to help companies find technical talent. You might enjoy it if you like networking, if you enjoy conversations, and if you are curious about different technologies. Skills that you need, of course, communicational skills, understanding different tech roles, how to do interviews, and how to use recruiting tools, like also LinkedIn. One more thing that I want to mention is that sometimes when people say that I work in tech, it also might mean that this person works in tech industry. So actually you can be whoever you want but still get into tech, for example, in the marketing or sales. So I think the main message that I want to leave you with is that the question is not, am I a coding person, but rather, what problems do I enjoy solving? Because tech needs different types of people. People who build things, people who explain things, people who test things, people who design things, people who organize things, people who help others use things. Because tech is huge and there is space for different personalities and skills. So if you're interested in tech, don't think immediately I need to become a programmer. Explore, look at different roles, check what skills they require, try small projects, and find the area that is interesting for you. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if I forgot any other tech professions that don't require coding, and what role, for example, would you like to explore? Also, if you're interested in something specific that you want to see, that you want me to make a video about it, then also let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this one and you are interested in front-end development, then have a look at the next video where I explain what actually you need to know in order to become a front-end developer. So have a great day, happy coding!